All right, ready? Here we go. 2025. It's on its way. I mean, we're actually here. 2025. Uh, so, guys, just wanted to, man, I've been looking forward to this moment right here where we do a little recap of 2024 and and cast some vision for 2025. I call it the Red Alpha State of the Union. That's what I've been saying in my mind. Just kind of getting my mind prepared to deliver this this message. Whatever it is, that God has for us to say. I believe that I was talking to my wife and we were praying right before we hit record. I believe that there is somebody out there that will come across this video, maybe at a point where they're looking at giving up. Maybe they need just a little encouragement, or just to see that somebody is out there just sticking with it, and still in the fight, still whittling away at at the dream. And so I know that somebody out there may come across it. It may be one of our children. It may be me when I'm going back and just looking at old videos. I know that I'm always inspired, um, just by some of the things that were on my heart at that time, and I use it as inspiration to or just motivation to keep myself where I need to be, where my mindset needs to be, because I'm sure you'll agree, babe, that having the right mindset um, is important in this line of business.
Yes.
Not just in this line of business, but I think just being in business in general. Um, in life and marriage, and being parents, grandparents. We're grandparents, y'all, and you know, it's important to have the right frame of mind when you're going out and you're taking on what life has for you. So my goal was to recap 2024. Just kind of share some of the highlights of 2024, and and then get into 2025, what we plan. What are some things that we have planned for our business, how we're going to be able to serve our customers better, and how we plan on growing in 2025. um, so we wanted to share some of those things. But as far as 2024, I think that you know we started off really good. Um, in the beginning of the year. And part of the reason why I think that we started off real good is because 2023 wasn't a great year. We struggled because when our printer kind of went down, and it was like that's our main printer, and so we were having trouble even before then. We didn't know exactly what was going on, and so we weren't getting good prints, and we were having a reprint, and so we ended up having to replace our print head, and so now I can recognize the signs or the symptoms whenever the printer's going out or the print head's going out, and so, but in 2024, well, I think that towards the end of 2023, I decided that I need to focus on the input. Like, I need to start developing better daily habits that kind of, they're going to help me become a better person and a better business owner, but it's also going to help me stay focused on just doing what I got to do and not worry so much about what's missing, in our lives. Because a lot of times it's the challenge, right? The challenge is, you got so many things that you're dealing with on a daily basis, and it's hard to look ahead or plan ahead whenever I mean, it seems like you got a mountain of problems right there in front of you. And so a big part of moving forward and pushing through all that stuff is being able to have faith that things are going to get better. And in order to have faith, you have to be able to develop the ability to be able to kind of overlook. what's right in front of you for another day that that will be better. That for better tomorrow than what it today is. And there's so what I started focusing on is, okay, I need to I'm going to start reading books. And so at the end of 2023, by the end of 2023, I think I had already read, I don't know, 4 or 5 books. And books like, the Atomic Habits, and the what was that other one that I read? The Power of
Mm,
Positive Thinking,
alchemy.
Alchemy, the Alchemist book, and a few others that I started reading. And so that kind of helped. We started getting more serious about the gym. And so we really started off really good. But then, kind of like, I don't know, 3 4 months into it, some of the things started to fall off. Like, we started getting busy, and so the gym suffered. Reading the books wasn't so much of a priority anymore. And um, and so we ended up kind of just focusing on finishing the next project. And then go, resupplying and getting ready for the next ones. And we stayed pretty busy in 2024. And so, on that end, I'm grateful for our customers. And I'm grateful that we were able to finish the year better than 2023. And we're definitely optimistic about 2025. And just some learning, more learning along the way, right? One of the things that we were, on a personal basis, is we had our oldest son got married. And it was really an honor that he asked me to officiate. So I had to go get my license. And so I officiated his wedding. And it was kind of an honor for me to be able to do that. It's something that I can always look back and just cherish the memory of being able to do that. But seeing my son, just whenever we were getting ready, I mean, the whole experience, from the conversations that we had the night before, even conversations that he and I had over the phone, leading up to it. And it's uh, just memories that I'm going to cherish the rest of my life. And so on the day of the wedding, being able to talk to family that we haven't seen in a long time. And just kind of catching up and reminiscing about the past, and kind of not believing that we were in that moment. Whenever your son finally grows up and falls in love and decides to get married, it's kind of it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And so I'm grateful to be able to participate, you know, in um, in in that part of their lives. It's that's kind of one of the wonderful things about the life that we live, is that it's always something to look forward to. You can always look back and be grateful for what for the life that God has blessed you with. And I feel blessed. We all, our kids are healthy. We're healthy. Our business is healthy. And we have a lot of good things to look forward to. And but the journey along the way has been special. It's been special. What are something that you wanted to share on a personal basis?
A personal basis. Um, well, our grandson Peter started school. Um, he's 3 years old,
Yeah.
and we were able to take time, just go and come back to Lubbock to be there with him on his first day of school, and watch him get ready, and walk into the classroom and meet his teacher, and then, you know having to leave him there. I know it's hard. It's bittersweet because he's not a baby anymore, and but to leave him there, for a couple of hours. It's like 2 or 3 hours a day, and it was bittersweet. Um, but we were very proud of him for being a big boy. He just got in there and started playing and grabbing stuff and look and exploring already. And the class is small, so they got a lot of um, one-on-one time, like with the teacher that he has. So
Mhm.
it's good. He's had a good experience so far, and has a lot of artwork that he brings home, and we get to see. And then he's reading
Mhm.
reading books that he's
Yep.
never read before.
Yep.
So we're very proud of
Yeah. I mean, one of the
him.
so for anyone who like has just come across our business or this channel and really don't know who we are, our company Red Alpha Custom Prints, we celebrated 14 years, and we're going to celebrate 15 years in March or April.
in in May.
In May of this year will be 15 years in business, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about you know um, the reason why we're in business. It's our grandson is one big. It's a big reason why we do what we do, and the products and services are great. We do. We're passionate about the products and services that we offer, to our customers. But really, the beauty of being in business for yourself is the behind the scenes stuff. I call it behind the X's and O's. Just the experiences that you have along the way. Being able to be there at our grandson's first day of school is a big deal to me. It's a big deal to us, and it's something that we would have had to ask permission, if we were working for somebody else. And that's a big reason why I wanted to go in business for myself in the first place. Is I wanted the chance to be able um, to get freedom of my time, to be able to set my own schedule, and basically create the life that I desire. And we still have a long way to go, but we've done pretty good. We've accomplished some things. Being in business for 14 years, going on 15, is not a small. It's not a small thing, and so I'm grateful that we're able to even sit here today and talk about the fact that we're optimistic. We're looking forward to the future, especially when you see a lot of businesses that go out of business. It's the tragedy. I think it's sad, and I hope that we just keep our business, open and going forever. One day I want to pass it on to my kids, and just have the Red Alpha business going on long after we leave. But in order to do that, we got a lot of work to do. But things like that, being able to take the time off to be, uh, to officiate my son's wedding, that's a big deal. Our I guess our primary reason why is for our family, our children, being able to be who we need to be for them, and not have to ask permission to do it. That's a big one for me. And so, on a more of a business related thing, you celebrated 3 years.
Yes, 3 years in October.
3 years in October. um, I wanted to do a 3-year recap, but we were just so busy that we really couldn't sit down and do an 3-year anniversary kind of video, just kind of sharing your thoughts. But I was looking back at the one that we did, I guess on your first or second year anniversary, and me actually seeing you every single day and watching you grow from from the time that you decided that you wanted to leave your job and join me full time. I mean, just what I've seen you accomplish in such a small period of time has just been amazing, and I'm proud of you for that.
Well, thank you.
But what can you share? There's people out there that maybe the couples are looking to start in business as a husband and wife, and maybe one of them or the wife is looking to transition from a full-time job to full-time in the business. Now that you've celebrated 3 years of being full-time, what is something that you can share to the supporting spouse of the I guess of the main entrepreneur?
um, I guess one thing is that it's never going to be perfect, a perfect scenario for someone to uh, quit a job and go full time with your own business. And so I think the way we did it, made the decision to do it, it it was on the heels of a big milestone in our
Yeah.
lives. Our grandson was going to be here, and we I didn't want to be limited to how much time I could spend with him, and since he lives in Lubbock and we're here in Abilene, and really I wanted to be there for Keandra and be whenever she delivered and all that. I mean, that's a big deal, for a mom and a daughter to share, and so it just so happened that we had been talking about it, but uh, probably a year before, when would be a good time. But I think that kind of accelerated the decision, and so there's never going to be a perfect scenario, um, and you can make all the plans that you want uh, to get ready, and it's a good idea. And I'm not saying that it's not, but also just do it if it's in your heart. And I think it was just kind of like ripping off a band-aid. It's like we're gonna uh, do this, and then we'll see. The next day, it's it's you're the business owner. It's like from one day to the next, right?
Yeah.
A
Yep.
Friday, and then the next day, Saturday. Guess what? You're a business owner, and then it started that same day
Yep.
on a Saturday. Um, but I think also, um, getting getting mentally prepared, um, I think it would help, um, prior to doing it. So mentally prepare yourself, and then also have somebody that's good by your side,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's very important because I know that my husband loves me, and he's concerned uh, about me as his wife before it comes to me as his business partner,
Yeah.
as an owner, a partner in the business. So that's one thing that he always keeps in the forefront of every single day when we start is, how are you doing today? Where are you today is what I hear almost on a daily basis. So he's really concerned about where my mindset is, and you have to have that kind of like your yin to your yang, because sometimes I might be okay, and then other times I'll need a little bit of encouragement,
Mhm.
um, and then vice versa, right? I try my best to encourage him as well, and it's you really will see what kind of marriage you have,
Yeah.
definitely, when it comes to a husband and wife being in a business together.
That's right. That's great. And so, just a little disclaimer: my wife is just getting over the flu that's been going on. So she's not sad. She hasn't been crying. She's not emotional about the
Mm.
story. It's just she's just coming off of being sick for like almost a week. So so bear with us, but we had to get this done. And you're right. Sometimes people are cut out to do certain things, and some people they have to develop into that type of person. Being a business owner, it's not like I don't think that you're born with it, or you know, um, some people are born with it, some people aren't. I think that some people are better. Their personalities are better suited uh, for owning a business, and some people are better suited for structure. Like the corporate system, and there's nothing wrong with being that. Being either one, and there's nothing to say that a person who needs more structure can't you know go and open up their own business and thrive there, and vice versa, right? It doesn't That's not what it means, because I think that just like a skill that you learn, whether it's learning how to play an instrument, or if it's learning how to make things out of wood, or learning how to hem banners, or printing, anything that's related to our business. It's a skill that you can develop, and if you treat your mindset as a skill that you're going to try to develop every single day, eventually you're going to have a stronger mindset. The one thing that I can say for sure, you're right. The circumstances are never going to be perfect, right? But I always feel like right now is always the best time to take a chance, to take a step. You definitely do find out what your marriage is made of, for sure. But you also find out where your faith is, right? Whether or not you really believe in God or not. I've never been so close. I said this on the last week. I've never been so close to God in my life, right? And so I'm grateful for our business, because we're forced to trust Him. We're forced to trust each other, and we're forced to trust ourselves. And I mean that alone, you can't put a price tag on that. To really find out that you are married to the one that is going to be there with you through thick and thin, that's going to support you regardless of the circumstances, and that is going to trust you and believe in you, no matter what. I mean, you can't put a price tag on that, and that's what I have with my wife. um, she has definitely been by my side. She's not the greatest at being a motivator. That's more of my thing. But I never have to question whether or not you love me. We both have different love languages, and we have. I'm reading a book now called the Seven Frequencies of Communication, and we both have two different frequencies that primary frequencies that we use to communicate to each other. And but being in a marriage, it's not about, hey, my frequency is more important than yours, and yours is more important than mine, or my love language is more important. It's about understanding the other person's love language. It's about understanding the other person's frequency, and trying to get on the same frequency, to speak the same language. And that's what I feel like we've done. We've learned who we are, right? Because whenever you were working at your job, I basically uh, got you from 5 o'clock to 9 or 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday, and then the job had you 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And so, I felt like I was married to you part time. You're working full time, and you were married to me part time. And for a few years, you were going to school, and so I was like uh, really part time. And then when you're raising kids, right? When you're raising kids, our kids, whenever we met, our kids were teenagers. We're both coming off of previous marriages, and we had so we were a blended family. are a blended family, and so we were kind of navigating all of the different things that you can imagine that you would have to go through being a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
We were in our mid 30s, and we had teenagers, and we were starting a new business and starting a new life together,
Yeah.
right? And but one thing that I have to say is that whenever we both said "I do," we really meant it.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. We're about to celebrate how many years?
16
16 years of marriage
next month.
next month, but we were like 18 years of being
18
together.
years together.
18 years being together, and 16 years next month of being married. And so 15 years of business, 16 business
Mm-hmm.
of marriage,
And we still like each
and we still like
other.
each other. We love each other, but we also like
Yes,
each
we
other.
like each other. We like
Uh,
being around each other. Even I know, being all day long together, and then once the business day is over, then we settle into, oh well, we're gonna eat, and what we're gonna do, and then do it again, the next day. And sometimes we have to work on the weekends too, and
yeah.
and so that's it's just part of the being a business owner.
Mhm.
But we have fun, and we can laugh, and we can find humor in some of the circumstances that are a little stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
We can't let those times like ruin what we have, the relationship that we have.
Right.
And that's something that's important to me, because
Hmm.
when we got married, I I wasn't going to change my mind. It was like, this is it. uh it's going to be for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
uh, just like we thought, our first marriage, we didn't
Hmm.
go in thinking that it wasn't going to work out.
Right.
But the second time, this marriage, I mean, it does take a lot. It takes work, it takes effort, and it takes um uh intention, for a marriage to work,
Yeah.
and to take care of each other, not just you know you're we're husband and wife, but it's like, what are the things that you like, and what are your, always talking about what we're gonna do, when we get further down, the road on age, because he doesn't believe in age. So he says age is, it's a he doesn't uh uh, think about age in the same way us mortals do. But so we're always talking about that, and thinking about our kids and our grandson and our future grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we still we can dream and have
Hmm.
fun,
Yeah.
and do uh, not have uh, any uh, I don't know, like, don't,
Anything holding us back or
yeah, holding us
hesitation?
back,
Yeah.
especially with our relationship. I don't want
Yeah.
uh the business to have any negative
Like be an
impact.
obstacle or anything like that.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
obstacle. So we
Yeah.
we make sure that well, my husband makes sure that won't, it won't be an obstacle to our marriage.
Yeah. I believe that before you go into anything, I talk a lot about taking a risk and just jumping into the water and learning how to swim, and or jumping off a cliff and learning how to fly, or you know walking on faith and not by sight. I talk a lot about that because that's really what you have to do in life, but then also when you own your own business. But you know I think that before you actually go into it, you have to consider the commitment that you're making, right? And what it would take for you to quit. If any of you guys have known me for any particular time, or have listened to any of the videos, or if you're any part of any of your a part of the old 40s workout crew, one of the things that I used to say all of the time is pay attention to your quit reflex, right? I believe that everybody has that one thing that would, like if the circumstances are perfect, you know, in the wrong way, that you would quit. And I think that a lot of times people are looking for the right excuse to use in order to quit. And so, but before you go into anything, you have to consider the cost. That's from the Bible.
Mhm.
Before you do anything, you have to consider the cost. Are you willing to pay the price that it's going to take for you to be successful? With your marriage, you got to know that it's not going to be perfect, but are you willing to pay the price for being in a successful marriage? That means you're going to have to learn how to communicate. That means that you're going to have to forgive, and that means that you're going to have to, I was just looking at one of our shirts uh, that I want to redo for Valentine's Day. But you have to look at what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love keeps no record of wrongdoing. It doesn't envy,
Mhm.
right? Love hopes. Love never fails, right? And so you have to be able to count the cost and pay the price, for that thing that you're setting out to do, and so, but if our business ever became like where I had to choose our marriage over the business, I would choose you easily. uh, that's the one thing. That's the one thing right there. Is if our marriage wasn't good, I'm, I'll just go get a job somewhere, or you work full time and then I work full time or whatever. But I always, in my mind, I said, if the business ever like starts demanding more of me to where I have to be better for the business than I am for you or for my kids, then I would choose my family over the business. I'm grateful that the business hasn't done that. Definitely had to make some sacrifices, don't get me wrong, but I've also been able to be the husband that I need to be for you, and to be the father and now grandfather for my kids and my grandson, and that's important. And so you have to establish those values whenever it's in a time of peace, right? Because as soon as you sign the dotted line, and or you step into that day one of business, you're going to get slapped in the face with adversity, and it's going to test you to see what it's going to take to make you quit,
Mhm.
right? And so I'd love to say that it gets easier, or it's smooth sailing. You just put in certain amount of time and years, and then eventually everything gets easy. That hasn't been my experience. It hasn't got any easier, but I've gotten stronger. I've gotten better. We've gotten stronger, and we've gotten better. And so the circumstances are still the circumstances, and I think that if we haven't grown and developed, they would have crushed us by now.
Yeah.
But we've